Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again to Cebu 3rd DEO for this pre-bidding conference as scheduled December 4. So we have here around 5 projects, and these are under convergence and special support program. And so, okay, roads, no? So before we start, allow me to introduce to you our back composition for Cebu Third for this year CY 2024-2025. So yours truly is the back chair, Engineer Ray Navales, chairman, and of course our district engineer for Cebu Third, Toledo City, Cebu is Engineer Suset Wanaka, our beloved DE, and we have inside the room, our chief of the construction section, also member of the BAC, Engineer Dali Almirol. And on her left side is from the planning and design section. So we have Engineer Alpi, uh, Nino Alpi, Las Punya, and of course, engineers coming from the planning and design section who will be discussing the plans and scope of works of the projects. So we have Engineer Junric Barbadillo, Engineer Roland Libungkugon, Engineer Henry Jean, Janie Gascon, and Architect Job Arminion. And of course, we are assisted by our IT officer, Mr. A.G. Kababan, for this live coverage. Okay, so before we start, allow me to read the following projects that will be discussed this afternoon. So we have contract ID 25HF0011. Contract name is Convergence and Special Support Program. Construction improvement of access roads leading to trade, industries, and economic zones. And roads leveraging linkages for industry and trade infrastructure program, or RULET. Barangay Busay, Tupas, Tangub, leading to poultry farm, Pinamungahan, Cebu, with a contract duration of 94 calendar days, and an approved budget. The contract is 19,600,000. For the second one, we have contract ID 25HF0013, Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, CPAG or CPAG. Access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings and facilities. And this project is about the construction of roads, Barangay Dakit, Barili, Cebu. The contract duration is 129 calendar days, while the ABC is 42,658,420 pesos only. The third, we have contract ID 25XF0039. Contract name is Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, or CPAG. Access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, and this is the construction of road Barangay San Juan to Barangay Libu, Libu to Buran, Cebu, with a contract duration of 202 calendar days, and the approved budget of the contract is 49 million pesos only. For the third one, the fourth one, we have contract ID 25HF0041. Contract name is Convergence and Special Support Program of Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, or CPAG. Access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, and this is about the construction of road Barangay Lusong to Barangay Bulwang to Buran, Cebu, with a contract duration of 138 days, calendar days, and the approved budget of the contract is 49 million. And the next one, we have uh, 25HF0043. Contract name is Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Infrastructure Project, Elevating Gaps or CPAG, Access Roads and or Bridges from the national roads leading to major uh, strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road, Barangay Bagakay to Barangay Mayana, Barili, Cebu. Location of the contract is Barili, Cebu. Contract duration is 202 calendar days and the approved budget of the contract is 49 million pesos only. So from here, we're going to start with the discussion. So we will give the floor to the planning and design engineers. We'll be discussing the details of the scope of work and the plans, no, and specifications. So who will start with 25HF0011? So we will give the floor to Engineer Henry Jeannie Gascon of the Planning and Design who will discuss this project. Okay, you may have the floor, Henry.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. For 25HF0011, contract name CSSP Construction Improvement of Access Roads leading to trades, industries, and economic zones. Roll it, Barangay Busay, Tupas, Tangub leading to Poultry Farm, Pinamungahan, Cebu. The location of the contract is at Pinamungahan, Cebu with a total project duration of 94 calendar days, an approved budget contract of 19,600,000 pesos. Items involved include Part A, provision of field office for the engineer. For Part B, other general requirements, we have permits and clearances. This includes the notarial and application fee of CNC, project billboard signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization, demobilization. For Part C, earthwork, we have individual removal of trees, clearing and grabbing. This will be for the payment for the removal of the banana, counted as banana hills. Removal of structures and obstruction. Removal of actual structure obstruction, 0.2 meters thick PCCP, unreinforced. Removal of actual structure obstruction, 610 mm diameter RCPC for the condemned cross drain. Surplus common excavation, embankment from roadway structure excavation, and subgrade preparation common material. For Part D, sub-base and base course, we have aggregate sub-base course. Part E, surface courses, Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced, 0.23 meter thick, 14 days for the concreting and reblocking. Part G, drainage and slope protection structures, reinforcing steel grade 40, structural concrete 20.68 MPa class A 28 days, pipe culverts class 2 RCPC, this will be 910 mm diameter, lined canal, trapezoidal reinforced concrete, catch basins, 910 mm diameter, cleaning of culvert pipe in place, 610 mm diameter half silted, and stone masonry. For Part H, miscellaneous structures, we have concrete curb that is cast in place, warning signs, horizontal alignment reverse turn left or right, warning signs, horizontal alignment curve turn left or right, and reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white for the edges of the road and the center line. So that would be all for the contract ID 25HF0011.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Gascon. And we will be discussing later now the uh, construction after all the discussion of the planning and design. Since these are all roads, so we will just call Ma'am Dali all the discussion, after all the discussion. Okay, we move now to 25HF0013, which will be discussed by Engineer Alpi Laspunia of the Planning and Design. Okay, Engineer Alpi.
Good afternoon, everyone. For Convergence and Special Support Program, under Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, or CPAG, access road and or bridges from the national roads, leading to major strategic public buildings or facilities, construction of road, Barangay Dakit, Barili, Cebu. So station limit is from station 0 plus 000 to station 1 plus 1940. Duration of the project is 129 calendar days. The net length is 1.94 kilometer. For the items involved, Part A, facilities for the engineers. We have provision of field office for the engineers. Other general requirements, permits and clearances, project billboard. This includes billboard for COA, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization and demobilization. For earthworks, we have individual removal of trees, removal of actual structures and obstruction, the existing concrete pathway, removal, surplus excavation, which is a soft truck, then embankment from excavation, subgrade preparation, aggregate sa base course, Portland cement concrete pavement for the carriageway. Thickness is 200 mm. Then for drainage and slope protection works, we have pipe culvert and stone masonry for slope protections. Then for miscellaneous structures, we have reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Alpi Laspunia, for the discussion about 25HF0013. Now we go to contract 25HF0039 to be discussed by, okay, Engineer Roland Libong-Kugun. Okay, you
Hello.
take it.
So, good afternoon, everyone. So, I'm here to discuss the contract ID 25HF0039 with the project title Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, or CPAG, access roads or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, which construction of road Barangay San Juan to Barangay Libo, Tuburan, Cebu, with the location Barangay San Juan to Barangay Libo, Tuburan, Cebu, with a project duration 202 calendar days. So there's the station limits. So it is composed of 3 sections. So section 1, station 0 plus 450 to station 0 plus 825. Section 2 is station 0 plus 890 to station 2 plus 289. And the last section is section 3, station 2 plus 302 to station 3 plus 480. With a project length 2.952 kilometer or 5.904 lane kilometer. So the scope of works of this project is there's a road concreting PCCP, which is ang width sa atong carriageway is 5 meters, and shoulder is sa base bar is 0 to 0.6 meters. Then ang thickness sa atong sa base both sides sa atong shoulder kay 0.4 meter. Then ang thickness sa atong PCCP is 0.23 meters. Then nasa tayo propose ani nga cross drainage. Then napod ni proposal nga katong existing dito nga box culvert, which is will be removed and replaced. Then magpropose tag bridge. So this process item involved for this project. So in the part A, facilities for the engineer. A118, provision of field office for the engineer rental basis. Item A1116, operation and maintenance of field office for the engineer. For part B, other general requirements. B3, permits and clearances. Then item B5, project billboard signboards, which will be located at the beginning and the end of the project. And every station na ninay na ay kuan every section in the beginning of the section natay propose nga project billboard. Then next part is B7 and next item is B7-1, occupational safety and health program. B8, traffic management, and B9, mobilization and demobilization. So for the next part, part C, earthworks. Item involved 103A1, individual removal of trees, 150 to 300 mm diameter. Item 101-3B2, removal of actual structure obstruction, 0.2 meter thickness PCCP. So, ang existing dito nga atong PCCP nga mga damage, mo ni ang item nga atong gamiton. Next part is item 102 surplus common excavation. The next is item 1041A, embankment from roadway structure excavation common soil. The next item is item 1051A, subgrade preparation common material. For the next part, part D, sub-base and base course, item 200, aggregate sub-base course, which will be used in the carriageway and shoulder. Next part is part A, surface courses, 311C1, Portland cement concrete pavement unreinforced, 0.23 meters thickness, 14 days. Then for the next part, part F, bridge construction. So, kanina yung kuan mga item diri nga involved, which is dili ni siya indicated yun sa atong pay item sa atong nasa DO, but diri lang ako gibutang kay ang kaning mga items kay indicated ni siya for this part for bridge construction. So, items involved, item 1031A, structure excavation, common soil. Next is item 1032A1, bridge structure excavation, common soil, which shall be used in constructing atong kuan abutment both sides. Next is item 404A2, precast concrete piles furnished 450 by 450 mm. Then next is item 414, precast concrete piles drive-in. Next is item 416B, test pile furnished and drive-in 450 by 450 mm. Next is item 401-A, concrete railing standard. And next is item 4041A, reinforcing steel grade 40. Next is item 4041B, reinforcing steel grade 60. Then next is item 4051 and B3, structural concrete, 27.58 megapascal, class A, 28 days. Next is item 4056, structural concrete painting works. The next is item 4078, lane concrete, class B, 16.5 megapascal. Then next is item 4041 for formworks and false work. Then last is item 5171A, drain pipe galvanized. So for the next part, part G, drainage and slow protection structures. So items involved, item 501B, pipe culvert class 2 RCPC, which will be used in constructing the course drainage. The next is item 503G, line canal stone masonry. Next is item 5061, stone masonry, which will be used in our slow protection structures. The next is item 502-383, catch basin 910 diameter. So for the last part H, miscellaneous structures. Item 6111, trees furnishing and transplanting, which shall be used sa atong kuan mga gipang kuha nga mga coconut trees dito sa site. The next is item 61221, reflectorized thermoplastic pavement marking whites, which will be used throughout the length. Then item 6122, reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings yellow, which will be used in curves, especially in horizontal and vertical curves of the project. So that would be all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Roland Libong Kugon. Now we move on to 25HF0041, and this will be discussed by John Rick. Kinsa man? Alpi, Engineer Alpi Aspunya. Okay.
Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Infrastructure, Projects Alleviating Gaps or CPAG, Construction of Road, Barangay Lusong to Barangay Bulwang, Tuburan, Cebu. Station limits, we have two sections in this project. We have station 0 plus 00 to 635 to station 0 plus 835 to station 1 plus 400. Total length of the project is 1.2 kilometers. Project duration is 138 calendar days. Items involved for Part A, facilities for engineers, we have provision of field office for the engineer, operation and maintenance of field office for the engineer. Other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization. For earthworks, we have individual removal of trees. So trees affected by this project, then removal of structure and obstruction. This is for the existing slope protection. Surplus rock excavation, embankment from roadway excavation, subgrade preparation, aggregate subbase course for carriageway and shoulder, Portland cement concrete pavement, 0.15 meters thick, 4 shoulders, then PCCP 230 mm thick, 4 carriageway. Then we have pipe culverts and catch basins for concrete, for cross drainage, then line canal, stone masonry. Then miscellaneous structures, we have trees furnishing and transplanting, replacement for the cutting of trees, then reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings, white for center and edge line. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Again, Engineer Alpi Laspunya. So we will now we'll move on to the last one for the discussion of the planning and design section. We have 25 HF0043, and this would be discussed by Jean Gascon, Henry Gascon.
For 25HF0043, CSSP CPAG access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major or strategic public buildings or facilities, construction of road Barangay Bagakay to Barangay Mayana, Bareilles, Cebu. This project has two sections. Section 1 is 500 meters. Section 2 is 2,080 meters with a net length of 2,580 or 5.16 lane kilometers. With a total project duration of 202 calendar days, an ABC amount of 49 million. Items involve Part A, facilities for the engineer, provision of field office for the engineer. Part B, other general requirements, permits and clearances, project billboard signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, and mobilization or demobilization. Part C, earthwork, individual removal of trees, clearing and grubbing, removal of structures and obstruction, removal of actual structures and obstruction, 0.2 meters thick PCCP for damaged carriageway, removal of actual structure obstruction, 610 mm diameter RCPC for the condemned cross drain, surplus common excavation, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, and subgrade preparation common material. For Part D, sub-base and base course, aggregate sub-base course for the shoulder and carriageway. Part E, surface courses, PCCP unreinforced 0.23 meters thick, 14 days. For the 5-meter wide carriageway with 0.6 meter minimum widening on curves. Part G, drainage and slope protection structures, reinforcing steel grade 40, structural concrete 20.68 MPa class A 28 days, pipe culvert class 2 RCPC, 900, this is 910 mm diameter, line canal trapezoidal reinforced concrete, catch basins 910 mm diameter, cleaning culvert pipe in place, 610 mm diameter half silted, stone masonry, and sheet piles steel slope protection. For Part H, miscellaneous structures, concrete curb that is cast in place, warning signs, horizontal alignment, reverse turn left or right, warning signs, horizontal alignment curve, turn left or right, and reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white for the edges and center line. So that would be all for the 25 HF 0043.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Henry. So after those discussion from the planning and design, so we now move on to the construction section for the implementation, no? The implementation of these projects. So we call on the chief of the construction section, Engineer Dali Almirol, to discuss this. Okay.
Thank you, Sir Adere. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to discuss the major category of work for the projects that is going to be bid out this coming December 16, 2024. So all of these projects have the major category of work, which is road construction PCCP. And in addition to that, I would like to discuss to all the participating bidders the required documents that is to be submitted during the December 16. For your technical proposal, the bidders is required to submit the bid security in the prescribed format, amount, and validity period. Eligibility requirements. So the participating bidders are subjected to our electronic evaluation using the CWA, using the major category of work as the basis for in terms of their experience and the single largest contract for the project. Project requirement, which include the following: the organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract with their complete qualification data. So as of today, there was a new department order that is being issued by Secretary Bunuan relative to the implementation of the accreditations of the project engineers that is to be assigned in the contract. So with the new department order, the said department order is being withheld under further notice. Second is the list of contractors, major equipment, units owned, leased, and or under purchase agreement supported by proof of ownership, lease, purchase, and certification of availability of equipment from lesser vendor for the duration of the project. And lastly is the omnibus sworn statement in the form prescribed by the GPPB. So any missing or incomplete or patently insufficient documents mentioned above is a ground of outright rejection of the bid that is in your technical proposal. In terms also in your financial proposal, so we are requiring the bid form, bid prices and the bill of quantities, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit price of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rental used in coming up with the bid. And lastly is the quarterly, monthly cash flow and payment schedule. Again, any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the above requirement is a ground for outright rejection of the bid. And I would like also to remind to our participating bidders the Department Order number 28 series of 2024, the three-strike policy in the procurement of infrastructure goods and consulting service contract. So please refer. It is also downloadable in our website like Chrome or Safari. It can be downloaded for your further reference. So that will be all, Sir Ade. Thank you and good afternoon.
Okay, so thank you, Ma'am Dali. And I think we have already discussed everything. So for the record, so if you have some questions, you may send your questions. Yes, those who are viewing or inside think there's no questions or there are no questions, so we may stop up to here and we will see on December 16, no? 2024. So thank you so much for the company of our engineers here inside here for the discussion and also for our IT officer. Thank you and thank you for those who are viewing, no? So thank you so much. God bless and advance happy Merry Christmas. Good afternoon. Time now is 2:55.